Hi everybody, today's video we're going to go over how to recut the angle down inside of a connection port on a 30,000 psi valve. There's two things you need for this. One is a little bit of cutting oil, and two is a reseating tool which we sell here at High Pressure Equipment Company. This particular one is for a 1/4 inch high pressure connection. And if you look at the reseating tool, there's like two basic components. There's the guide bushing or the gland itself, and the actual cutter which is attached to a handle. Now this gland isn't like your normal connection gland that you'd use for tubing. It's actually got a special drill or a reamer through it to keep the gland itself very close tolerance. So when we thread the gland into the connection itself, it stays centered, and that way we get a proper cut. So the first thing we want to do is we want to put our valve in the vise. And what I like to do is kind of put the valve on a little bit of an angle, so when we go ahead and we start to do the rotating of the process with the reseating tool, any chips are going to fall out of the valve, and if we put it this way, there's a risk of them going inside, or especially if we put it this way, there's a really good risk that the chips or any cutting solution is going to get down inside the valve. So I just kind of like to set this a little bit on an angle, and what we do now is we take a little bit of the lubrication or the cutting oil and just put a little dab on the tip of the cutter itself. Okay, the next step is to thread the actual gland nut, which is the actual reseating gland nut, down inside the body until it actually bottoms out. And now what we want to do is we want to put slight pressure forward on the reseating tool, so when we cut the thread, we're actually cutting inside the material itself. So I just rotate this about 3 or 4 times by hand. Now, another way you can do this is to remove the handle that's on the reseating tool and attach it to a cordless drill. And I know a lot of customers that are out in the field use it that way because it's a lot quicker process. So once we've rotated it about 3 or 4 turns, we can set the reseating tool down, take the valve out of the vise, continue to hold it in a downward position like this. We remove our guide bushing or our gland, take this out, and we basically just wipe everything out or blow it out with shop air. And now the seat's cut back inside the body, the 57 to 59 degree angle, the valve's ready to go back into service.